Thank you, Darek. Thank you, Łukasz, for telling us about the newest developments when it comes to batteries. And then the question remains, what about the different charging options and the infrastructure? Here's Agnieszka Pril to tell you more about that. She's a design engineer responsible for development of remote diagnosis system, which we call ES Connect. Her passions include data visualization. And then Marcin Pilachowski, he manages the electrical systems department. He's been at Solaris since 2005. He was on the team working on our first fully electric Solaris bus that was presented just 10 years ago. And I'm really interested in hearing from them.
Welcome everyone. As it has already been mentioned, customers have countless possibilities of options that allow them to fit the solution to their needs. Vehicle type, electric motor, traction battery, and also charging method make Solaris electric vehicles perfectly adapted to the specifics of various cities. The method of charging is important for the effective operation.
So how to choose the right charging method?
Our electric buses are adapted to both overnight charging in the depot using a classic plug-in system and fast charging methods thanks to ACD, automatic connection device, which in our context is Pantograph. In the case of trolley buses, energy can be supplied from the catenary. This allows the traction batteries to be recharged on road through Inmotion charging. Marcin, could you introduce the first one?
First charging method, plug-in, is our default solution. The main features are maximum charging current up to 200 amps in basic version, charging time from several dozen minutes to several hours, manual operation, 1 or 2 inlets per vehicle, high flexibility, meaning the bus is not strictly dedicated to a certain line, and standardized interface, which is CCS, so Combined Charging System Type 2. This is the common system in automotive industry used in Europe and not only. This type of charging is especially recommended for batteries with high energy density, so-called Solaris high energy. Additionally, we can use plug-in for preconditioning. This allows the vehicle in the depot to be preheated or pre-cooled during charging and thus extend the vehicle's range. A novelty in our offer is HPC, so high power charging plug-in technology. Most of the features are the same, but thanks to the use of liquid-cooled plug-in connector, it was possible to significantly increase the charging current. As in the case of the basic version, it was 200 amps, in the HPC, it can be even 400 in currently used applications. The result is twice the power, which can reach even 260 kilowatts. I would like to point out that all this while maintaining backward compatibility. It means the bus with installed HPC can be charged either from basic plug-in or HPC. Using plug-in methods, we can reach relatively high charging power, but using other, we can have even more.
Thanks to the second method, ACD, which is for fast charging. The main feature of ACD are charging current up to 800 amps, charging time even 8 minutes, adapted to depots that will be operated autonomously in the future, adapted to both quick and overnight charging, maintenance-free method. It requires no additional actions of the part of the driver. Pantograph charging is especially recommended for batteries with lower capacity and lower energy density, Solaris high power. This method is dedicated to use on roads where there is a possibility of frequent recharging. This Pantograph solution is possible in 2 different variants. First option is Panto Up. Pantograph is placed on the roof of the bus. Maybe I will explain how to prepare the bus for charging. Let's imagine the situation. The bus arrives at the stop at which the charging infrastructure is installed. The driver presses the button, which in turn automatically raises the pantograph and connects to the contact dome. The charging can start. As you can see, the procedure is very easy. The second method is Panto Down. The main difference between Panto up and Panto down is that the pantograph is placed on the charging mast. When the bus arrives at the charging station, it sends the information to device by various communication. Then the pantograph lowers onto the connection rails mounted on the roof of the bus. I would like to point out that the Panto down solution in Solaris is based on upcharge initiative.
A particularly interesting case of charging technology we offer is Inmotion charging. In other words, it is a charging while driving. The basis for this solution is the well-known trolley bus technology that has been used for many years. A novelty is a traction battery dedicated to given conditions and an onboard charger that charges energy while driving under catenary. Such a solution allows for extending the possibilities of servicing lines where the trolleybus catenary cannot exist or has not been built yet.
So, plug-in or pantograph, which solution to opt for? Which one is better? What do you think?
Well, I think it is fair to say that there is no one right answer to this. Charging method is crucial for the effective operation of the vehicle. It should always be adapted to the customer's needs and existing infrastructure and the condition of use of the bus. Plug-in charging is focused on overnight charging and daily operation without recharging. On the other hand, ACDs, so fast charging methods, have advantage to quick top-up batteries in the city. It means practically unlimited range. As you can see, any method can be the right one. So then, what is the most popular electric buses charging method in Europe in general?
Well, to answer to this question, our company collected some data. It shows that public transport operators tend to choose plug-in charging solution, but overall the choice is more or less equally distributed.
How does it look for Solaris customers? What is the most popular charging method among our customers?
When we look closer at the data, we can see that there's a distinction between Solaris customers. It is clear that the vast majority choose plug-in method extended by pantograph option. Plug-in plus pantograph variant makes 77% of all our orders. We compared the trend in the choice of charging options in Europe and among our customers. Now we would like to show you an overview of completed investments in some of the cities. Let's have a look at the variety of solutions that PTO have opted for. So there are some examples of integration of chargers with the city infrastructure. First example is Venice with fast chargers. Second example is Krakow, where the charger was mounted on a traction pole. And Barcelona is an example of full integration with the control system.
We have presented different charging methods and examples of their use in specific applications. All this together creates a certain system that must cooperate with each other. To cut long story short, vehicles from various producers must be able to charge with various charger equipment. We call it interoperability in public transport. Solaris puts a lot of effort into designing interoperable vehicles in this sense. To achieve this, we are members of working groups. We use proven components from leading European suppliers. Our engineers discuss specific use cases together with charging infrastructure specialists. And finally, we perform interoperability tests. Our response to such variety of solutions and the constantly growing number of vehicles produced is a unique investment that is being built on the premises of our factory, Solaris Charging Park. It will be the central place for charging vehicles leaving our production line. Let me list the main features of this project. It is up to 8 vehicles charging at the same time, chargers from various producers with a power of 150 kilowatts to 600 kilowatts. Some of them will be bidirectional, which will allow us to recover some energy for charging next buses or send it back to the grid. Next feature, all charging interfaces we offer in our vehicles. Short catenary for trolleybus testing, integrated photovoltaic panels on the roof. On top of that, charging management system and information panel, where the most important information about the processes will be displayed.
Marcin described an example of investment realized in our factory. But it's not a single case we led. Solaris support the PTOs by turnkey solution due to our experience and knowledge. The turnkey solutions mean that the manufacturer takes responsibility not only for delivery of the vehicles, but also charging station and execution of the civil works. This includes obtaining the necessary documents like permits for land development or use of the charging infrastructure. It's certainly a demanding undertaking. Let's briefly go through the stages of this charging infrastructure project. First stage includes market consultations, cooperation with suppliers, and preparing the base for the tenders. The next stage involves analysis of tender requirements, collecting offers from suppliers, and selection of the best offer. When we sign a contract and receive an order, we can proceed to the implementation. The work at this stage depends on the scope of the investment. It may include only supervision, assembly and commissioning of chargers, or it may also include civil works. The last step is commissioning and testing the bus charging. Here are some examples of turnkey solution projects which Solaris led.
Mentioned earlier, Venice is one of the most interesting of them. Together with 30 electric buses, we supply to this unique city 9 fast charging systems, 6 slow charging systems, and 1 mobile charger. The charging infrastructure has been deployed on 4 different locations of Venice. Several partners were involved, and Solaris was leader of the project. In our scope of responsibility were all chargers, pillars and cabling, low voltage cabinets, and cooling systems. On the other hand, our final customer took part in such activities as permissions, civil works, medium voltage cabinets, and transformers. As you can see, here we had high sharing of responsibilities. Solaris is able to deliver turnkey solution according to final customer need and in cooperation with him.
As we can see, one thing is certain. None of the methods of charging electric buses is better or worse in principle.
Today, we introduced how our customers manage the issue of choosing the most fitted charging method.
Charging system should always be adapted to the specific use case.
Solaris can support customers on each stage of the project.
Thank you.
Thank you.